The new high school year begins, and some seniors immediately notice first-year student Iwashimizu, a giant boy whose size could intimidate anyone, yet his timid behavior reveals he's actually a big coward, and that alone makes him an easy target. They start bullying him for fun. Then their eyes catch another first year, a tiny kid named Jean, so short he barely reaches their shoulders. But when they mock his height, he snaps, launches forward, and beats every one of them to the ground in seconds. Watching this shock, Iwashimizu freezes, terrified that the bullies might turn on him next, and quickly drags Jean away to safety, stuttering his thanks for helping him. Jean brushes him off coldly, saying he only fought back because of their cheap insults, not to save anyone. As they walk together, they exchange names, and Jean admits he hates useless short seniors who do nothing but act superior, while short guys like him are treated like children. Soon, Iwashimizu's old friend Hetsuyaoji appears, smacks him on the back, and happily welcomes him to school. He invites both boys to watch his rugby team's practice match, and Jean, clueless about the sport, follows along curiously. Hetsuyaoji explains that in rugby, anyone, big or small, can become a star. As practice begins, Iwashimizu describes the rules enthusiastically, recalling how teams once begged him to join because of his size. Jean laughs at the idea that size doesn't matter, and in that moment realizes this might be his chance to shine. After the match, he boldly agrees to join the team, while Iwashimizu quietly refuses and walks away. The next day, recruitment continues, and Jean arrives eager to meet the strongest player, the captain, Sekazen. When Sekazen jokingly calls him Shorty, Jean loses it and attacks, but Sekazen blocks his punch with ease and scolds him like a child. Later, Jean drags Iwashimizu straight out of his book club, throws him a tackle bag, and charges at full speed. Iwashimizu dodges at the last second, panicking, but Jean stands, demanding he hit him. When he refuses, Jean taunts him, saying he knows about the middle school incident, how Iwashimizu injured his friend Muki during a tackle, and that he's not weak like Muki was. Rage finally bursts out. Iwashimizu slams Jean to the ground, but Jean just laughs, shouting that rugby is awesome. The next day, the team officially welcomes the newcomers. Hachiyuji starts guiding them, but Jean keeps yelling for a real fight. Annoyed, Sekazen agrees to face him. Jean charges like a wild animal, and Sekazen flicks him aside effortlessly. Jean tries again, fails again. Sekazen sighs and offers a deal. If Jean can complete a brutal drill, he'll give him 5 chances to tackle him. Fired up, Jean accepts. He's told to crawl across the field with the ball between his knees like a turtle, back and forth until practice ends. Others laugh, but he keeps going for hours, trembling, sweating, never giving up. Day after day, he repeats the drill, studying every move of the veterans, learning how they tackle. Eventually, he asks Iwashimizu to train with him so he can learn how to bring down Sekazen. Weeks pass. Then one afternoon, during another match, Jean faces Sekazen again. He's thrown again and again, but he refuses to quit. Finally, he unleashes everything he's learned, drops his weight under Sekazen's knees, twists his body, and flips the captain over his shoulder in one perfect throw. Everyone gasps. Even Umino, the team manager, who rushes in to splash water on Jean's face as he laughs in exhaustion. The next day, Sekazen announces their biggest challenge yet, a practice match against Kiho High, one of Kanagawa's top 4 teams and the same one that crushed them before. The room fills with whispers. During prep, Umino explains the team formation, while another player, Ibumi, mocks Jean for taking the same winger position as him, sparking a noisy argument. Meanwhile, Iwashimizu quietly dreads the match. His old friend Miyuki plays for Kiho. Game day arrives. At the gate, the vice captain greets them, mistaking Sekazen for some fatty Hachi OG, earning a few awkward laughs. Sekazen reveals the starting lineup and shocks everyone by benching Jean while choosing Iwashimizu to start. Furious, Jean demands an explanation, but Miyuki, now serious, tells him to stay calm. He hasn't yet seen what Iwashimizu can really do. The whistle blows. From the bench, Jean and Umino watch as both teams realize Iwashimizu is the weak link and target him relentlessly. Then Miyuki grabs the ball, charging straight at him. In that instant, Iwashimizu remembers the day he injured Miyuki years ago and freezes. Miyuki shouts furiously for him to get off the field if he's not going to play seriously. Jean yells from the sidelines, "Fight back!" And that voice ignites something deep inside. Iwashimizu suddenly moves. He plants his feet, pushes forward, and stops Miyuki just an inch short of the goal. The crowd erupts. From that moment, everything changes. Iwashimizu starts tackling like a beast, pushing defenders aside, scoring points, and roaring louder each time. Even when Kaijo High's powerful players strike back, he doesn't fall. Umino mutters that it's unfair. Kaijo is a private school with hand-picked, physically dominant players and endless resources. Yet this time, the one who breaks their rhythm isn't Iwashimizu, it's Sekizen himself, stepping up as captain to prove that courage, teamwork, and heart can rival any strength born from privilege. As the match intensifies, Taira charges forward with full power, and while he's tackling fiercely, he suddenly recalls the past, the time when Kaijo once played against a young Sekizen and his old team. He remembers how even after losing that game, Sekizen stayed behind on the field, training alone for another full hour, and from that moment, Taira began to respect him deeply. A senior watching from the bench comments that no one on their team works harder than Sekizen, but rugby, he reminds them, is not a solo sport. 15 players must fight together if they truly want to achieve anything on the field. Uharano stands up and declares that it's time to change the game's momentum. The match continues as their team faces Kaijo High head-on, and the situation turns rough as both sides push their limits. Kaijo's passing becomes lightning fast, making it almost impossible to react, but Uharano shows his skill, weaving through defenders so well that even Miyuki looks like a beginner beside him. He performs a no-look pass that surprises everyone, including his own teammate, named Ace, who barely manages to catch it. Jean watches cluelessly from the bench as Umino patiently explains the rugby positions to him, though it's clear Jean's brain isn't built for this kind of strategy. Kaijo maintains their dominant play and eventually traps Uharano in their defense, but when things look hopeless, Uharano suddenly kicks a drop goal out of nowhere, stunning the audience and even Kaijo, who didn't see it coming. Kaijo regroups, tightening their defense as both teams struggle to keep possession. They smell victory, but before they can finish the job, the halftime whistle blows. Kaijo's bench mocks the opposing team, but the seniors quickly silence them, telling everyone to stay focused and disciplined. Ibumi demands to play in the second half, but Sekizen stops him, reminding him of the old rule: no training, no play. Rugby is a team sport, he says firmly, keeping the same lineup for the next half. When the second half begins, Kaijo switches tactics. Instead of trying to outrun their opponents, they outmuscle them. Taira spreads the field wide, tricking the team into clustering at the edges, leaving the middle completely open, and Kaijo seizes the opportunity with brutal precision. The defense collapses under pressure, and the team needs a substitute fast. Iwashimizu starts to panic, unable to handle the mental weight of the match. Finally, Jean gets the call to sub in, his heart pounding with excitement. Though he barely understands the game's flow, one thing he knows well is how to face a fight. The moment he enters, Taira charges straight at him like a raging bull. Jean braces for impact and meets him head-on, holding him back for a few seconds before Taira's immense strength pushes him to the ground. Frustrated but fired up, Jean clutches the dirt, only to hear Sekizen shout encouragement from behind, urging him not to quit. On the next play, Jean tackles again, and this time he connects perfectly, sending Taira stumbling backward as the crowd gasps. The energy shifts. In the final moments of the match, Kaijo pushes desperately for one last try, but the team holds the line. Jean chases their number 10 across the field, forcing him wide at a bad angle. As the last kick flies, Kaijo misses, and the game ends. Though they lose on points, it's by the smallest margin yet. Jean sits on the ground feeling useless, but Sekizen smiles and tells him that his tackle against Taira gave them a real chance, and that matters more than victory. As Kaijo walks off the field, Jean yells after them with fiery determination, promising they'll take them down next time. Shortly after, Sekizen announces a one-week intensive training camp and vows to turn their club into a powerhouse through hellish practice. At camp, everyone gets to work. The second years take time away from their own drills to help the new players, while Iwashimizu trains harder than ever, inspired by Miyuki's words from their last match. Suddenly, an unkempt man appears on the field, shouting orders like a professional coach. To everyone's shock, he actually is a national coach named Komori Shingo, who came to help the school. Komori wastes no time criticizing Sekizen's poor training methods, warning that half the team could quit by summer. He tells Sekizen bluntly that his stiffness and lack of teaching skill are the real problems. Furious but humbled, Sekizen asks for guidance, and Komori decides to demonstrate by pairing Sekizen and Iwashimizu against two shorter players, Najin and Kamo. The duo scores first, but Iwashimizu quickly equalizes with his massive strength. Komori smirks, calling him lucky, and warns he won't be next time. He dismisses the team for a meal break, where they gather for home economics class, talking over food. The team complains that Komori's attitude is unbearable, but Sekizen insists they can still learn from him and grow stronger. The next morning, they find Komori setting up poles and wires for intense new drills. Training begins, and it's brutal. By the end, everyone is doubled over in exhaustion. Komori separates the biggest players for extra weight training, telling them they must become the team's core strength. Later, he organizes a full-contact scrum session, but tempers flare when Uharano loses patience, nearly starting a fight. Luckily, the ever-cheerful Hachiyuji steps in, not with fists, but with sharp words that calm everyone down and restore discipline. As the sun sets, Hachiyuji and Sekizen see Komori preparing to leave and nervously ask what time practice starts tomorrow. Without even turning, he replies, 5 o'clock. If you guys love this anime, drop a part 2 in the comments right now. The next part will blow your mind.